Hello daily drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's daily draft. We are in the middle of Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth draft season here on the channel. We have finished the live stream section of this format. We live streamed, probably 7 or 8 times here on the channel. It was a lot of fun, but the live streams are done until we have Wilds of Eldraine coming out at the end of next month, surprisingly enough. About a month and a half or so. It's getting closer. But that's still for later. We are drafting Lord of the Rings, and yeah, we are at the point in the format where pretty much not everything is solved, but we know what's going on, and having a good time with Lord of the Rings. So not really much more to say other than let's dive into pack one, pick one. And here we are with an interesting pick today. This is definitely an interesting one. I've had Saruman the White in a lot of decks, and he's a very good card. There's also Smite the Deathless, and there's also Bilbo here. All of these are great and cards I wouldn't mind starting. I was actually thinking as the queue was building here, I was like, I wouldn't mind pack one, pick one-ing a Bilbo today. That would be fun. Bilbo's just a nice, clean, fun card. There's also Smite the Deathless, and there's also Saruman. I don't know exactly what to pick here. I think I have to eliminate Bilbo because of the double coloredness and go with either Saruman or Smite the Deathless, and I think I'll take Saruman. I still think blue is slightly underdrafted at this point in the format, and I do really like blue as a color. But we're putting our neighbor into red-blue, or red definitely with Smite the Deathless now. If we can find our way into blue-black, that would be best. Interesting. Okay, well, that paid off as we get a pick 2 Scroll of Isildur. You love to see that. Not much complaining about a pick 2 Scroll of Isildur here. So, definitely love that one. Easy pick for us. And while we have 43 more seconds in this pack, if you are new here and you have stumbled across this video and you find yourself continuing to watch, clearly something's gone right, and you enjoy the content here on the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free for you. There's no reason not to do it. You get notified. We draft over 20 times every single set. Tons of drafts here on the channel. More drafts of Lord of the Rings than any other channel I know of. So if you are here for a quantity of drafts, I mean, we are already on, I think this one says number 11, but we've done 7 or 8 live streams already. We've already done early access. We've had 25 drafts already with at least 15 more to go. Tons of drafts here on the channel, so go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps out the channel, and you definitely won't regret it either. So, pack 3. Pick 3. What do we got? Display of Power, no thanks. There could be Rally at the Hornburg for like a blue-red deck. There's also Tale of Tenuvial, which is fine, but when you're playing blue, you want to be a little bit more spells-based. There's Ent's Fury, but I don't think we need to dip into that. Dip into green for Ent's Fury here. Captain of Umbar, Greyhaven's Navigator, not very good. So I'm debating between Rally and Tail here, and I think I'm gonna land on Rally as a spell for a potential blue-red spells deck as we get another one here. So I think I'll take this. Now, we're kind of hook cutting our neighbor into blue-red because passing Bilbo and Smite the Deathless, but Rallies are great cards for blue-red decks, and it's just a great card in general. You could pick up a Book of Mazarbul or something as well. These just turn into a full-on game plan. There's Celeborn the Wise and Elven Farsight and things like that. I don't super like Glorious Gale as much anymore, but I do love Deceive the Messenger. See, this is the reason why I love getting into blue in this format, because pick 5 Deceive the Messenger, it's not necessarily late, but this card is just so good. There's Eorith as well, but yeah, we're definitely snapping up Deceive the Messenger here without too much of a consideration otherwise. And I think we're just going to stay with another Deceive the Messenger. It is a late Torment of Gollum pick 6 here. Maybe that's worth dipping into black for. Again, there's a Glorious Gale as well. But when we know we're blue and there's another Deceive here, we're just going to go ahead and take that. Okay, very underwhelming pack here. Don't care about Leechcraft in the slightest. Same with Ring Sight. I guess if we go blue-black, a Haunt isn't the end of the world. If we go green-blue, which we're currently not necessarily set up to do, then Farsight and Galadrim Guide and Lembas are fine. I guess Lembas could be played in a blue-black control deck, maybe? I guess I'll just take the Lembas to stay open here. Alright, I guess I'll take Generous End here to open up a splash if we find, like, Shelob or something like that. Don't care about Strider pulling me into green or red any more than it already has. All these cards are whatever. So I'll go ahead and take the hint here. And what do we wheel? We did wheel Celeborn the Wise and Lothlorien Lookout. Is today a blue-green scry day? The Lookout is among the most important cards for blue-green scry if you're going to go into that deck. So I'm going to take it. Ent's Fury wheeled, Willow Wind wheeled. Willow Wind wheeled. Surrounded by Orcs, not good. I don't particularly care about Willow Wind, so I'll take the Ent's Fury. Greyhaven's wheeled. I mean, we're getting pushed into blue-green again. I don't know how much I care about Mirror. Here's the Farsight. Some white cards. And last pick surrounded by Orcs. Okay, so here's where we make a decision here. There's a Fiery Inscription, and we have a pretty good start to a blue-red deck, even with double rally. We can just continue to fill out blue here. We've also got the Shire, if we want to stay blue-green. We've also got Claim the Precious if we want to try to get into black. I think I'm going to land on Fiery Inscription here, as I'm not particularly tempted by these green cards that I currently have to go into blue-green. I've mentioned before there's two and a half cards that kind of only pull me into blue-green. The rare Elrond, the rare Galadriel, and uncommon Elrond. If you don't have those three cards, or any combination of those three cards, the blue-green deck really doesn't end up working. So I'm going to take Fiery Inscription here and try to go blue-red. Now, that could be an issue with this person passing to us on the left here. What a pack this is. A Foray of Orcs, Ranger's Firebrand, Smite the Deathless, Lorien Revealed. But I think we're taking Foray of Orcs here. This card is so good. As much as I love, you know, Firebrand and Smite and Lorien Revealed as well, I think I have to take Foray of Orcs. The card is just so good. So I'll take Foray of Orcs here. Isolation, Knights, Cast in the Fire, War Beast, but AMR, even in a blue-red deck, AMR is good. It's just such a beating of a card that I'm willing to take it here. Oh, this is a tough pick. I love the Bath Song, and I love Bilbo. Why do we get to pick 4 Bilbo if we set up our neighbors in it? Did we effectively hook cut them in pack 1? Who knows? I really do want a Bath Song. That would be so good in this deck. But so is Bilbo. That's a really tough pick. Let me know in the comments what you take here. I'm pretty locked into blue-red, but I think I'm taking Bilbo, but that's really tough. Okay. Playing a copy of Isolation is usually fine. And then nothing here but green and white. I guess I'll cut the blue card. Don't necessarily care about Wizards Rockets too much. Here we go. Pick 7, Deceive the Messenger. I'll play as many of those as I can get. I just love this card. Ideally not playing Lembas, ideally not playing Greyhavens here. But everything else seems fine. Again, with Saruman, these Deceives get very good as well. Looking for Birthday Escapes, looking for Lorien Revealed, looking for Smite the Deathless, looking for Stern Scolding, Saruman's Trickeries. That's what we can build out this deck here. Another Fiery Inscription wouldn't be too bad. Pelargir Survivors, very high on the list. So there's a lot of cards we can get here. Just need to find them. There's the Pelargir Survivor. Pick 8. It's exactly what we're looking for. Would love to get access to at least 2 Pelargir Survivors in this deck. Currently have 4 instants, 3 sorceries. Want to get that count up as well. Hopefully not playing Dreadful, but I'll cut it here as the only card we might consider. Same thing with Kingfisher. Probably don't want to play it in this deck. Isolation number 2 versus Cast into the Fire number 1. I think I'll take Cast into the Fire number 1. Isolation just, it's been really expensive, and in decks like this, it doesn't actually deal with the issue. I mean, I'll take a second one now, but not super thrilled about it. All right, what can we get in pack 3? All right, so we've got the Smite the Deathless, we've got the Birthday Escape, and we've got the Pelargir Survivor. I would love all 3 of these cards. We have to take our first Smite, though. I think that's pretty clear here. We're lacking a little bit in interaction. We've got Foray, we've got Cast in the Fire, we've got Double Isolation, of which I hopefully don't really want to play 2 of these. So I'm going to take my first Smite the Deathless. Second Survivor or first Lorien Revealed. I think I have to take my first Lorien Revealed over my second Survivor. As much as I love this card, and I think we definitely would play 2, I have to take my first Lorien Revealed here. I'm going to try to switch mouses here. My mouse has been acting up. Let's see. There we go. All right, Erkenbrand. Not for this deck. Swarming of Moria or second Lorien Revealed. I guess I'll take a second Lorien Revealed. Issue with this mouse is you can hear me clicking very loudly too. That's why I don't use this one as much. Swarming of Moria. Probably a card I would play. Now I regret not taking the second Survivor last pack over the first Revealed, but I think we'll be okay here. Still enough time in this pack to find some good cards. Holy, speaking of good cards, Fear Fire Foes. That's a great one. We are snapping that up here, and we are securely in blue-red for the first time in the VODs here on the channel. We did just live stream last Monday and get into blue-red for what was the first time. Now this is my second time drafting it. Hopefully this time goes better than last time if you saw that live stream or VOD afterward. There we go. Now we'll take the second Survivor over the third Lorien Revealed, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Elrond, that is a great card, but not necessarily for this deck. I think I'm taking my first Arwen's Gift here. Need some more card draw. And Elrond cares about creatures entering, of which we don't have many. I guess I could play a copy of Glorious Gale. I'm not super high on it. We didn't get any... All right, Survivor Wield, that's outstanding. I'll even play 3 here. We didn't get any Stern Scoldings or Saruman's Trickeries, but they're uncommon, so you can't always count on that. We could wheel another Survivor here. I don't know if I play 4, though. Yeah, we did. I'll take it. I don't know if I'm playing 4 of them. What's our instant sorcery count? 15? It's not bad. Still have to make a cut. It's probably the 4th Survivor here. I don't think we need 4 of them. So let's take a look. If we cut this here, we play 17 lands and then run it like that. What are the other options we have? A Cast into the Fire, a Dreadful as the Storm, Kingfisher. Currently have 15 instants and sorceries. Could consider playing 16 lands with 2 Lorien revealeds. But I've found in these blue-red decks, you really want to make sure you hit your land drops. So 17 is probably more likely for me. Currently 6 creatures, is that right? Yeah, 6 creatures, of which 3 of them are survivors here. Bilbo, Fiery Inscription, Scroll of Isildur are the only ways we have to be tempted. So we're likely maybe some games getting to the second one, but rarely ever getting to the fourth one here. Didn't get the Birthday Escapes. We've got the Dreadful we could put in as another way to tempt us, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and run it back like this here. And for our first blue-red decks and VODs, hopefully we end up doing all right. See you in game 1. Okay, we're on the draw here, but we do have Deceive, which goes a long way. I think I'm going to Island Cycle here. We have so many blue cards, we would very much like a second one. Or a second island, I mean. Vial of Galadriel. Okay, that basically doesn't do anything for the moment. It adds a mana of any color. And if they don't attack here, then they're holding up a counterspell. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. They could have a land cycler. Swarming of Moria. Alright. Still have 3 mana, 4 mana now. Bilbo. So if I cast Arwen's Gift, I go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. I draw 2, and then I have to discard 1. So I can't really cast Arwen's Gift. I could cast the Bilbo. I fully expect him to die. Or I can just hold up Isolation. I guess I'm casting Bilbo here. Or at least get countered. Yeah. I mean, they were going to counter him whenever we decided to cast him anyway. Because I think Stern Scolding, the only hit in our entire deck is Bilbo. Well, no, we have 3 Pelargir Survivors, so they could have countered that too. Alright, so now we've got Isolation to get rid of their army here at some point. Do we use Deceive to cycle away and prevent 3 damage here? Basically, a instant speed 1 mana 1/1 that gains 3 life. I think that is something I'm interested in doing, just to preserve my life total for a moment. Planning on casting Isolation on their 4/4. Oh, that's fine. I don't care about that. I suppose they could have Saruman's Trickery, which would make my isolation pretty bad. So I would rather just get rid of this while they're tapped out. They do have 2 treasures, but they don't have Trickery up. And now their file is actually going to start doing some good work here, as long as they can dump their hand. Which they didn't. Yeah, these are great. We'll keep them. Pass the turn. I don't need to smite down their survivor necessarily, because inscription plus all these cards in hand. Oh, jeez. That's an issue. Okay, well, I guess I'm taking 6. So if I play Inscription, I can't cast Fearfire Foes to kill Aemir, so I kind of have to just do this. And really hope they can't counter it or something, or prevent this from happening, or have a combat trick here. Alright. That worked out. Can't hold up Glorious Gale, unfortunately. Okay, take 1. Pass it back. Go ahead and cast Inscription, holding up Deceive and Glorious Gale here. Let's see if they have Trickery. They don't. Or they chose not to use it. I think I'll just hold up my instants here as opposed to playing Rally this turn. I'd rather hold up Glorious Gale in case they draw Saruman the White or something. Battle-Scarred Goblin. I probably have to use Smite the Deathless on that if I don't use Rally. Because the Rally doesn't block it. So I either counter it or Smite the Deathless. I think I'm probably just going to Smite it. So I guess the best thing the file has done for them so far is get them 1 card closer to having no cards in hand. Because it has effectively done nothing else. Alright, I suppose I'll get rid of the goblin here. I'll play Rally at the Hornburg. Interested to see what they have in hand. I can't figure it out just yet. I can kill their survivor by deceiving, blocking everything. 1/1/1, a block on it. Now they have instant speed something here, so... Is that worth trying to do, or do I just continue to try to race? We have an extra 6 damage in hand right here, so if I attack with both of these, they're effectively at 8. I think I'm just going to attack rather than try to make the blocks. They have Greyhaven's Navigator or something? Hithlane Knots. Sure. Did that a little late. One bottom. No more instants in hand, notably. Or at least none that cost 3 or less. Sure. Still no play. Now they do have an instant they can cast. Just playing a game of chicken here. Sure. I can exile their file of Galadriel here too. With this. Something I could do is I can deceive and eat one of their 1/1s, be left with a bunch of 1/1s, and then I can exile their file of Galadriel in the event that they ever get to 0 cards and start trying to top deck out of this here. That might be a little bit better. Why don't we start by doing that? Really have to hope they don't have improvised club here at some point. I'm currently still not dead to improvised club, so... Lorien revealed, that would be great. Foray of Orcs, also fine. Let's see if they kill it in response here. No? Okay. I can put them to 1. I can also put them to 2, which means Glorious Gale is lethal. Now the issue is, if they then have a removal spell and Improvised Club, I lose. But I think that's a risk I'm willing to take. But if they cast any creature, I win. Well, there we go. Alright, we got it. I'm still wondering, I would love to know if they had Improvised Club in hand or not. I think that's what they had most of that game, and they were figuring out when and where to use it. Okay, so this hand is very slow. 2 5-drops and 2 3-drops. But we have both colors of mana. I think I'll keep... We have a lot of 1s and 2s we can draw. We have triple Deceive the Messenger in the deck. We have a Pelargir Survivor in the deck, which goes a long way. We have 3 Pelargir Survivors in the deck, which goes a long way as well. I was about to say, I really hope they don't have Frodo. But they do. So what does this do? As long as it's your Ring Bearer, it must be blocked. So I have no choice here. I guess we'll go ahead and play Inscription. They had priority and then they didn't. Did they just pass their turn? War of the Last Alliance. So they're going to get a good amount of ring temps here. I wonder if we're going to have to try to hold up Glorious Gale for whatever they get in hand right now. They're tutoring for legendaries. Rosy Cotton. Good news is I can cast into the fire Rosy Cotton, so I don't have to necessarily kill Rosy Cotton here. Or counter Rosy Cotton. But I can't cast Scroll and hold up Rosy Cotton, which is not great, but I can hold up Cast and Glorious Gale in case they do Rosy and then play another legendary that's good. So I think I'll pass. Faramir. I'll go ahead and counter the Faramir. This is going to give their creatures double strike until end of turn. Okay. Land. Alright, good. Now what do we do? We cast Scroll and we hold up Cast in the Fire. We cast Arwen's Gift. We attack with Survivor. Maybe we hit Smite the Deathless. I prefer to play the Scroll when they already have 2 creatures on the battlefield, because they might just not play a creature next turn, and then I don't get to tap down 2 creatures, which would feel not great. Let's see what we get here first. I think that's actually the worst card in our hand right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. So that means I guess we just Arwen's Gift. Both of those are quite good. I'll take a land, and I think I will take Deceive as well. Next turn we can play Aemir and use Deceive off of the Survivor. Here comes Rosy Cotton. So Frodo's going to be a 2/4. Might have to play Scroll next turn. What's their follow-up here? Well, it can still use its abilities, so that's fine by me. Alright, so let's do whenever... What's the third one say? Whenever your Ring Bearer becomes blocked, that creature it has to sacrifice it. Okay, so that means we have to do... scroll. And then use this. So, well, it can't actually block. That's okay, though. So do this and this. I do have Deceive that I can use to kill Rosy Cotton if they attack with Rosy Cotton, though. Which means I just hold up the food activation and the Deceive the messenger here. I can't play Survivor because it's just going to have to block Frodo and it'll immediately die, so I can't do that. So I'm either casting into the Fire Rosy or I'm just trying to get them with Deceive. I can eat their food as well. Okay, so we're going to get to try our Deceive trick here. Oh no, we're going to have to block Frodo with it. Oh. Forgot about that. Darn. Alright, so I gotta lock down their two creatures. A bunch of green and white, 4 cards in hand, no plays though. If I draw a land, I can cast Saruman and then also cast Into the Fire off of this. So I think I can play Aemir this turn. Hopefully have an attack with him. Okay. They go to 7. We're going to draw 2 next turn. 3, I guess, off of our draw step. So if any of those are a land, we play Saruman. We cast Into the Fire on Rosy. We amass 2. Okay, so let's get in with the 1/1. These survivors are not very good against this Frodo here. So we'll do same thing with the 2/2 that we're going to make. We're going to mass 2, but it's just going to die to Frodo. But they're going to be at 4. We're going to have Lorien revealed next turn as well. Okay. So Lorien revealed leaves us with 3 mana left over. So if we draw any single spell that's 3 mana or less, and they can't gain life this turn, we win. Okay, 3 mana, kill my Saruman. Attack with Frodo. We kill our 2/2. They did get a food, obviously, as I said. Start here. Again, I can't play the Deceive the Messenger, or play the Pelargir Survivors, because it's just going to die to Frodo here. So I hit them down to 4. I cast Deceive, and then I cast Fearfire Foes for X equals 1, and then kill them. Alright, we did it. Fiery Inscription. Great card in a blue-red deck. Alright, we're on the draw against Frozen Vomit. That is deeply disturbing. Land Cycle Lorien revealed or no? We have 2. I think we can get away with land cycling one of them, make sure we hit our land drops here. Sure. Hold up Glorious Gale here. Okay, didn't get to use it. Which means next turn we probably play Fiery Inscription, which means they're going to have a turn off. Or they're going to have a turn to resolve something with Glorious Gale. So that, I guess that means, do I play the Inscription now or not? Actually, I don't think I do, and the reason is because I just drew Deceive the Messenger. I can hold up Glorious Gale, I can also Deceive the Messenger, their Took Reaper, and eat their 2/1. So for that reason, I'm actually just going to pass it back. See how good this card has proven to be? It's just been nuts. They get a Ring Tempt, but nothing to put it on. And then they post-combat cast Protector of Gondor. Alright, looks like we got our value there. I think I'm fine casting Inscription now. I don't necessarily need to hold up Lorien Revealed or Isolation right now, unless they play something with haste, like an Aemir or something. Which they could do off of Great... I said unless they play something with haste. It's okay. Because we have an Aemir next turn. They've also got Lash of the Balrog in hand here. So... because they were getting priority with 1 black, and then when they passed, they weren't getting priority, so it's not Shelob's Ambush. So I'm pretty sure it's Lash of the Balrog. Let's see if they want to 2-for-1 themselves with Eowyn and Lash to get rid of Aemir here. There's the Lash. Oh, never mind. You could just cast Lash for 4. 4 additional. Alright. Go ahead and draw 3. Again, we're not under a ton of pressure right now. They're hitting us for 3, but right now we win this race. So we can Isolation this next turn here. Can also Isolation their Amass army now. Mill me. Yeah, they milled 3 spells. 3 straight spells there. Good for you, I suppose. So this is still unblockable. So this does a lot of damage to them here by doing it this way. So we go ahead and we isolation their 7/7. They go to 5. We hit them down to 3, and now any spell off the top wins for us here. Can't prevent that. Okay, okay. They didn't have the... and they get a food from that. I said any spell, but that isn't any spell. They have to eat their food. They go down to 2. Had they not milled all those spells off of the top of our deck there, we would have won quite easily here. Still currently lethal on board as it is, though. Unless they can do something about it. I don't know what that does, but it's probably incredible. Well, it's not a spell. What does this do? I want to make sure I don't cast this. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent mills 2 cards, 1 or more. Mill this way, exile something, copy it, blah, 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 blah. Discard enchantment, instant sorcery, ward. So we still are okay to do Bilbo. Ring tempts us. We put this over here. We get in for 2. And then Arwen's Gift could finish it out, even if this couldn't, so... I think we had lethal anyway, I just wanted to make sure we got that loot in the event that for some reason we didn't. Sweet. Alright, we beat Saruman of Many Colors, which is like an unreadable magic card. Alright, we're on the draw here. We have Survivor on 2, which goes a long way in making this hand keepable here. Obviously need the Survivor to survive, but we have plenty of time to find a mountain if we need to. Black, red, Mahur. Okay. That means I can play Rally and hold back Mahur. We weren't super pressed to get the Survivor onto the battlefield anyway. Pretty good curve there. There are so many ways that Bilbo dies if I play him here. Or I could just play Survivor and Deceive. But we got Bilbo in the deck. You gotta play Bilbo, right? Yeah, I told you. Well, he didn't die. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of Lorien Revealed here, and then... Our hand is not a lot of action, and they're not going to run into Deceive the Messenger anymore. They have a freaking 6/6 too now. I'm just going to prevent some damage here. We have double isolation that we could use. But that was pretty brutal, them taking Lorien Revealed there. Jeez. Saruman versus Saruman, huh? Yeah, we're already out of gas here, which kind of sucks. Don't know what went wrong this game. I mean, they took our card draw. And I guess they assembled a 6/6 before we could really do anything about it. What can they get back with Sauron here? Nothing currently? Still banking on an isolation somewhere here. Oh, jeez. Well, that's good combo. Alright, yeah, we'll just lose this one here to just bad top decks. I mean, we couldn't really do anything about it here. We just played every card we had. Played a Rally, a Deceive, a Bilbo, a Survivor, and a Saruman the entire game. So, Lorien Reveal would have gone a long way in at least attempting to help us survive. I mean, it is far too late to have anything be relevant here. They probably have lethal some way, I'm sure. We block there, double block there, block there. No, not quite lethal yet. Maybe next turn they do. I guess I can do this, and they can only kill one of them. I mean, if they have removal, they have removal, but we're losing so many different ways here. So Saruman's never amassing for us this game unless we draw exactly Arwen's Gift, I suppose. Oh, good God. And Orcish Bowmasters. Oh, that amasses as well? Okay. Yeah, we never really stood a chance this one. Their deck was just pretty darn busted. Moria Marauders, Orcish Bowmasters, Saruman. They had a curve of Mahur into Dunlin Crebain. Gonna be difficult there. Alright, we go first this time. With a hand that's keepable. Got Survivor into whatever we want from there. Probably Bilbo on 2. Flamesmith. Yeah, I think I'll play Bilbo. Could just die to Smite the Deathless, but like I said last game, what are we going to do? Not play Bilbo? Like, I can't really afford to just not cast him, even if I think he's going to die. Gloin. Whenever you cast a historic spell, get a treasure, sack a treasure, goad a creature. Why is this in the main set? Was this meant to be, this is like meant to be in the commander set? Start here. And I think we just cast Isolation on their Gloin here. I'm actually going to use the Survivor to tempt them to attack with their Flamesmith here, so that I can still deceive it, and then eat the Flamesmith with the Deceive the Messenger. That's my plan. So many great hauls today. Bill the Pony. A wonderful ring bearer blocker. So they can sack a food here to make it be a 1/1 again. I guess now that they have Bill the Pony, so I mean, at least they got rid of a food, so their Bill the Pony can't block as a 4/4 one more time. Scroll. That's pretty good. You can steal their food. They might just sack it to build a pony. Probably will. Okay. That means I can't attack. Because it says, until end of turn, target creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness. It doesn't mean its power changes. Even though Arena showed you it as a 4 there, it doesn't mean it actually changes. Gosh, Samwise is good. Gonna have to use Foray of Orcs to get rid of him. Book of Mazarbul. Okay. So then what I'm doing is I'm doing this, and then my Foray is going to kill their Samwise. Now I can do... I suppose I should have used the Pelargir Survivor mana instead. Guess I'll get rid of this one here. That way I could have played this Survivor, but now we can play Rally post-combat using the treasure here, which I think is fine to do. Here comes Gloin. And here comes Meriadoc, which is also historic. Hello, Fiery Inscription. play Inscription, I think. Still be Bilbo. Go here, attack here. Go to damage. Make a treasure. Play a land in the turn. Now we have to take a bunch of damage. They're playing the 5-color Legends deck here very clearly. Yeah. Gimli, Gloin, Build a Pony, Meriadoc, Samwise Gamgee. I mean, they're going all in on every legend they can find. Smite the Deathless. Sure, can't really do anything about that. Darn Bill the Pony making my life much more difficult here. Because I can use Deceive to make this go to a 0-2. Build a Pony can make it fight as a 2-2, which still kills everything. But that would force them to get rid of the food from Bill. Do I care about that? So that forces them to use their food. I probably want to force them to use their food. I'm taking 10 right now. Could be 12 if Bill wants to do something. That's okay. We're at 20, so I think we can afford to do that. We might be able to race here. So again, they can use Bill, but I think that's fine. They can't eat their food. They can't gain life. We still trade for it, so I think it's still okay, because we have AMR coming. So I'm sure he'll trade Gimli here for AMR. And then now we're hitting the land part of the deck. Which is exactly when we need to not hit the land part of the deck. Alright, what's their top deck here? Go to 4. Okay. Sam's Desperate Rescue? No. Deceive the Messenger? Ugh. Gosh. Quit it with the lands, man. I mean, we're about on average for how many lands we should have drawn at this point, so I guess I can't be that mad. I just hate how they're all clumped when we exactly need to not draw lands. Create a food. That's an issue with Build a Pony. Okay, so We do this. We can eat their gloin here. Take no damage. They go to 6. We have them down to 1 next turn, so any spell off the top here is a win for us. Well, they have a food now, though, so... Again, they can use their Build a Pony to make their 3/3 or deal damage down to us, or they can use it to gain life. They're probably going to have to use it to gain life. So frustrating. There's so many cards we could have drawn in the last 3 turns that would have probably won us this game, but... So we have to block Bill. Alright, he eats the food, we trade, and let's see if they have a post-combat creature. They don't. Alright, Bilbo, what you got for us? Another freaking land. Dead to removal here, I guess? There are so many ways we could have won this game already. If we had not just top decked so many lands in a row. Alright, any spell off the top wins. That'll do it. Thank you. About time. We had so many different ways to win that game there. It was just so frustrating it took that long. Alright, first again, and I think the hand is fine. I have yet to mention the Patreon page here for Daily Draft. We do have a Patreon for as little as $1 US per month. Very, very inexpensive. You get lifetime access to our Discord server, no matter how long you pledge for. We also have early access to content available and super exhaustive tier lists, which include tier list rankings for every single draftable deck in the entire archetype, or in the entire set. So go ahead and take a look at that, see if that's of interest to you. Got a link in the description here for the Patreon page. Sure, my turn. I won't play Scroll this turn because I want to deceive the rider and then eat it. Again, see how good Deceive has been right now? This is like probably one of my favorite commons in the entire set. It's so underrated too. Sure, that resolves. I'll still eat it with this one. Bit unfortunate that we're going to have to like waste 4 mana here, but can't do too much about that necessarily. We have all of the card draw in hand as long as they have 2 creatures in play. So our 2 Deceive the Messengers just traded for a Westfold Rider and a Hobbit Sting for 4 mana. We spent 2 mana and we're left over with a 1/1. So 2 mana to their 4 mana, and we still had a 1/1 left over at the end of all of it, which is insane. So we're just going to go ahead and do this now. Restock up that hand, no attacks, we're still at 20. Next turn we can scroll if they play another creature here, and still hold up Glorious Gale. I think I will go ahead and get this going here. Have to take 7, which isn't great. Then after that, we're probably okay. I could just chump with this. Prevents 2 damage, but gives them 1 more. So it prevents 3, but deals 1 more to us because of Gimli. So prevents 2 damage to do this. I don't think that's worth preventing 2 damage necessarily. Okay, hit us for 7. Play Eastmark Cavalier, and I mean, there's no guarantee they play another creature this turn, so I kind of have to counter it. Okay, so now we play Inscription and hold up Isolation here. Probably Isolation whatever creature they play this turn. So I can keep these tapped down and then draw cards off of them here. Sure. I play Foray of Orcs and I also Isolation their Gimli. Seems good. We have AMR next turn. Play Cavalier, that's fine. Do this here. Go ahead and get in. Yeah, we could even deceive that. Well, it would still die, so we wouldn't deceive it, but yeah, blue-red, very potent in Lord of the Rings. Alright, hand looks good to me, as long as we've got a deceive in our opening hand. I mean, it's pretty darn keepable. That is a card that definitely gets around it, although cast into the fire. That's a good one. I do believe I will cycle Lorien Revealed here if they don't have a play, just to make sure I hit my land drops. Really all you need to do is cast one of these for it to be good. Still no play, interestingly. Swarming of Moria amass 2. Okay. Do I trade Cast into the Fire for their Lancer? I don't think I do right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this going here. They're just gonna have to sack their treasure for no value now. Alright, blue-red against blue-red. Here we go. Fiery Inscription is great. Love to see that. But do I play Survivor first? Before Inscription? I probably do. Getting the Survivor on the battlefield is pretty important. I probably don't even need to use these. They might even just counter or kill this anyway. Yeah, it looks like they'll smite it, but it's probably fine. A target player draws 2 cards. Okay, sure. I can play Inscription next turn and still hold these things up. Plus then I'll have a Ring Bearer. So, interestingly, if I let this resolve, they go up to 4, and then if I deceive in response, I don't think... Yeah, so I think I have to do this now in order to save my Survivor here. But then I just killed my 1/1. So I guess I didn't necessarily do that in the correct order. I thought that if I had done it in response to the Amassed Army's power, I thought it would have just killed the Survivor anyway, but that definitely could have been wrong. Here we go. Does anyone need a land? Again, can I interest you in a land? This is going to be tough to deal with here. I'm going to have to draw one of probably my isolation. I do believe that I'm just going to fire off the Cast into the Fire on the Lancer here. See if they save it. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. They still have 4 mana and 3 cards left, so what's their post-combat? They're swarming, they go up to a 6/5, so we need isolation. Good God, I think we've drawn 5 straight lands in a row. Don't have anything else to do, so let's do this. Guys, we had 7 lands on the top of our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 3 lands left and 19 cards. 3 lands left and 19 cards here. Wow. I think I drew 8 or 9 lands out of 10 cards, and the one that wasn't a land was a Pelargir Survivor. You're never winning that game. Okay, we go first, and we have a suspect hand here. We have a Deceive the Messenger, but boy do we need blue, or red. But if we get a red, it's great. Even if we draw a single blue, it's probably still fine because of Scroll. And I guess Scroll is the reason I'm keeping this hand here, because even if we draw a single blue, the Scroll still gets us out of this in a way. AMR is probably the worst draw in our deck at this point, so... Guess we're land cycling here. Nazgul is a good card. Sure. Are we blocking? Yeah, I think we are blocking. Okay, they amass 1. So Bilbo in these like super spellslinger decks hasn't actually been that great because I don't play very many creatures, which means the ones that okay, we're gonna have to save Fearfire Foes now. The ones that I do play just get killed. Like, they have removal in their deck, so if I only play a couple of creatures, they're just gonna die. Oh, that would have been so busted if they would have created these on this turn, and then I would have drawn 5 cards. Unfortunately, not exactly how it's going to work out here, but... Eagles of the North. Okay, I draw 2 cards. Is one of them going to be a red? There we go. So I play the red. And then I play... Bilbo, Hold Up, Deceive. Next turn I'm playing Fearfire Foes and killing probably their 3/3 and wiping out their board here. I fully expect Bilbo to just straight die this turn, but I mean, it's either that or just play Survivor here. There goes Bilbo. Just gonna save some damage here. I think I'm killing the Nazgul before that gets too far out of control. And then I can isolation the Eagles here at some point. Mordor Muster, sure. Hit me for 3. I can play Survivor, I can play Rally, and hold up Deceive the Messenger. I can just play Aemir right now. I think I'll just play Aemir. I'm gonna have to use this Deceive here, or this Isolation on this Eagles here at some point. Yeah, I figured they had another one. Errand Rider, pretty good. But again, the isolation with the Eagles, they still get to cast it later. And it has a good ETB, so it's going to still be good for them. So that means we do Survivor, and now we do Isolation after their draw step. And we're looking for, I don't know, Fiery Inscription or something? Smite the Deathless, maybe? Eastmark Cavalier, okay. Protector of Gondor, less okay. There's Smite the Deathless. It's going to have to be used on the Eagles. We don't really have another choice here. So let's do this. I guess Isolation is going to be fine. Let's do Rally. And let's do a land. And then pass. The Eagles' ETB is going to be tough to deal with here. But we have to save Smite the Deathless for it, because we don't really have another way to deal with the flyer. Oh god, that's a problem. That will probably kill us between this and then the Anthem they get next turn as well. God. Yeah. I'm wondering if I should have Smite the Deathless in response to that thing. So like we do this and then we still smite it down. It's still a mistake. And we take 5. And then the Eagles next turn makes these +1/+0 and first strike. Probably have to smite down this next turn. We can't smite. We're going to have to isolation that next turn. But then the Eagles are going to be undealt with. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We have to take 5 now. If I do it this way. Again, this means it was just a straight mistake to not do this before the ruin resolved here. Can I interest you in another land? We like those today, don't we? So we have to double chump here. No, not exactly. We can... deceive the messenger here. Double block. No, can't double block because that's got first strike, so... I have to do this because I'm dead next turn if I don't do this. So then... do this, I guess. The frustrating amount of lands that we have just top decked at the absolute worst time today has been so annoying. Nope, can't do that. They have the combat trick for their 2/2. Oh, amass 1 over there. Okay, well, went 5-3 today, so... just... we had Arwen's Gift, we had 2 Lorien Revealeds, and we cast 1 of them last game, and we drew 3 more lands off of it, and it's just frustrating sometimes when, like, things are going well, the deck is really good, you're 5-3, and then one of the games... we straight up had no chance at winning because of, we had like, I think we had 15 lands with like 18 cards left in our deck or something. But either way, I mean, blue-red is still a good deck and I'm having fun with the blue-red deck here. You know, Bilbo has been less than impressive in decks with only like 6 creatures in it. The Pelargir Survivors has been fine. Aemir, good card. Saruman, never really saw him today. Foray, great card. Smite, great card. Fearfire Foes, great card. You saw how good Deceive the Messenger is. So all those things added up. Still fine. 5-3. I'll take it. End of the day. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time for your daily draft.